name is DoccoBell and I make videos for every game that I platinum, and today I'm going for DreadOut. Released in 2014, this game was inspired by the popular Fatal Frame franchise. 2 years later, they also made a standalone DLC for the game called Keepers of the Dark. And with the DreadOut collection now on PlayStation, this included both base game and its DLC expansion. But instead of separating the trophy list, they ended up merging both games under one platinum trophy. So starting off, I found myself waking up in a dark room and finding a cell phone on the floor, which is pretty much my bread and butter for the majority of the game.
Are you alright? We're all dying waiting for you to get here. Thank God, Linda. What took it up? Where are you, right? We're all dying waiting for you. We're all dying. We're all...
That lovely woman on the phone is actually the first ghost that I'll take a picture of, getting me my first trophy. This area, which also is the beginning tutorial-esque part of the game, mind you, is also where I got completely lost. Not knowing where to go, I was kinda just sprinting all over the place like a mad dog, which got me the Olympian Medalist trophy for traveling a long distance. Sweet. Still running around like a headless chicken, I decided to mess with the menus and ended up uploading one of my pictures to the cloud. After running for about an hour and a half now, I finally gave in and started Google searching for a way out. I didn't want to look this up because I would feel so stupid for not figuring it out, but after watching a walkthrough for the game, there was no way that anyone would have figured this out on their own. For the Are We Dead Yet trophy, I needed to enter Limbo for the first time. Limbo in this game is pretty much where I end up going every time I die. After finally finding this girl that I was chasing, she ended up leading me to a room where she would then proceed to end my life. No more. Yeah. Wait. Ruby. Oh my god, I freaking died. That's crazy. Turns out it was a scripted event, and now I have to find a way out of this creepy place, where I would get a taste of my first combat experience in the game. After beating up the ghosts and lighting all the candles, I just needed to take a picture of all 3 candles, and this would cause me to wake up from my nightmare and officially starting the game. The game starts off when a bunch of high school kids decide to go on a field trip with their teacher, only to end up getting lost and reaching a dead end.
Hey, watch out!
What? What is it now?
She should not be driving, bro. Since everyone in this car has a combined IQ of a squirrel that was dropped at birth, we all decided to hop off the car and look for a way forward. I, however, already knew that they were anyways, so I decided to document the final moments of everyone here, which I ended up getting a trophy for.
Take my picture.
Oh, sure. Oh, trophy. And I already knew I was about to go down, so I decided to do what no one ever does in horror movies. I decided to get the hell out. I honestly thought that I would hit an invisible wall by now, but after 20 or so minutes of running back, it then clicked in my peanut brain that the devs ended up making the way back into an endless loop. So I turned around and hoofed it back, but it also clicked in my brain that it would take me another 20 minutes to run back to the class. So I quit the game and ended up loading back in for one of them big brain plays moments. After finding a way through, we ended up in an abandoned village, and one of the abandoned restaurants is where I would find my first article. And while I was distracted reading chat, where you can find me trophy hunting live on twitch.tv/DoccoBell, I would then get I scan dead people for being in photo mode for 5 minutes. Reaching the end of the road is where we found the abandoned school that they seemed to be looking for. As the rest went inside, me and my best friend What's-Her-Face decided to wait for everyone outside.
Hey guys, we're about to check out the inside. Wanna come?
What the fuck? Until it turned nighttime without a single sign of anyone coming back out.
Hold on. They've been in there for a really long time.
Before going into the school to look for everyone, I decided to go back into town to take a picture of a couple of ghosts for them sweet trophies. One of them, however, isn't really a ghost, but a couple of aliens. Oh, what is that? There it is. Bruh. Let's go! Going back down at night pretty much means that I had to fight my way there, but it's still a beneficial move on my end since this is all good progress for the trophy Book of the Dead for collecting all ghost pictures. Oh my god, bro, what the f— And for Attack on Titan, if I go all the way down where our car was, I'll be greeted with a really big ghost blocking my path, who also happens to be the Titan that I needed to take a picture of. For Ghost Rider, I had to take a picture of a ghost riding around town on a bike. Before he gets to spawn though, I needed to collect 3 soldier medals around town just before it turned night. And having these 3 medals would spawn a couple of ghosts this time of night, and one of them being the Ghost Rider. Just collecting all medals was the first challenge, because the second challenge is actually catching this dude at the right time. Oh! Bruh. Where? Where does he even go? What? Bah! Bruh. But as he was going back to run me over again, I managed to snipe him just in time. Got you this time. Oh, this man crashed for real. Ghost Rider. Yeah, son. Yeah. Sit the freak down, boy. With all the ghosts taken care of in this area, it was time to go back to school, which, funny enough, is also our next trophy. Just before we were about to go in to look for everyone, they ended up coming back out, except with one person missing this time. So as a group, we all went back in to look for this guy, only for one of the students to get possessed in a classic horror movie fashion, shutting all the windows and the door with her kinetic powers. Which cuts back to our character being alone again for some reason and trapped inside the school. Ah, shit's about to go down. Trophy. Besides getting beasted by one of the ghosts in his school. Oh my. Bruh. There's also a ghost pig roaming around the halls, which is something I didn't think was even remotely creepy, but this game managed to prove me wrong. For all planets perfectly aligned, I needed to solve a puzzle on the second floor of the school by lining up the markings to make one whole picture. This gave me a flashback of what happened to the school, which I can't show for monetization purposes, but let's just say that everyone was hanging out. I feel like I have to take a picture of this in like a certain spot. Oh, trophy. Damn, there's something about this picture. Jesus Christ. I don't think I could show this. It's gonna have to be censored for real. On the same floor is a cat that I also needed to take a picture of. Yes, sir. Oh, a cat. Trophy. Hashtag cute. Hashtag cat. Hashtag funny. Hashtag LOL. In the school cafeteria would also be a ghost waiting for a picture. Per usual, I got lost again, so huge shout out to Kim for helping me find where the key was on stream. But honestly, in my defense, there was actually no way of seeing this key in that little corner. What? Huh? Thank you, Kim. And with the key in my possession, it was time to get Director's Cut for beating the principal, which is the first boss fight in the game. Like the 2 ghost ladies I was fighting previously, this ghost also teleports after I deal damage to it, which makes this thing a challenging fight to do. Good thing I had that Rainbow Six Siege mentality and sound hoarded the entire time. Dude's probably mad right now. Trophy. After beating the principal, however, there was another somewhat boss fight that I had to do, where I needed to interact with the web door 3 times to beat this ghost in red. Each time I touch the door, the ghost inflicts a curse on me like a swarm of insect roach things as she teleports me to another part of the school. And the last thing, and probably the most annoying curse, is when she inverted my controls. But after reaching the door again, I just had to blast her in 4K and now I can leave the school. But before leaving, I had to go back to one of the classrooms so I could take a picture of some toy animals. Which I would get 3 more trophies for leaving the school, solving all the puzzles, and for not dying once during the school section. As soon as I stepped out of the school, however, I literally got mugged out of everything but my clothes. Fortunately, I ended up encountering one of my classmates, so that's a good sign. I just hope he doesn't slap me or anything. Ow. After chasing me through the 9 realms, it turns out that homeboy was also possessed by a demon, which ended up snapping this dude like a twig. But some other ghostly being ended up handing us something even better than my phone, an SLR camera. So now I can record my vlogs in true 4K while getting chased down by creepy possessed boys. Fortunately for me, however, I can try this out on these little dudes that stole all my crap, which they ended up combining their powers to become a slightly bigger dude with his wang sticking out, or whatever the hell that is. Eventually arriving at paradise, but too bad my girl over here is straight, so this had 0 effect on her. For me, however, while I was here, I ended up nabbing the last of the special items. While in this little paradise, after taking a picture of the last candles that were hidden, it would instantly turn into night, which would light up the middle 3 candles and would get me a trophy for solving the puzzle in the graveyard. And this would start another boss fight shortly after. For We're a Happy Family, I had to take a picture of a bunch of Pokongs in a single shot, which are these dudes that show up during said boss fight. Oh, y'all are dead. Y'all done goofed. Y'all done goofed. Y'all done goofed. Trophy. After beating the boss, this thing yoinked me off the ground. During this scene, the correct way to do it is to not press anything, and eventually the ghost would just die. But for Let It Go, I had to die in this scene 5 times, so instead of not pressing anything, it just became a button mashing competition. After that hectic boss fight, I ended up finding one of my classmates and our teacher who was pretty wounded. Talking to her and listening to her lines while she's resting in bed would get me another trophy, however. Around this area is a ghost with a baby, and taking a picture of her will cause a note to appear on the ground. I had to spot her 3 times, and also picking up the notes 3 times will get me the trophy for collecting all the articles and solving the mystery of the crying widow. Sweet child of mine. Trophy. For Got Ahead, I had to take a picture of these little coconuts that rolled down this set of stairs. This one was kind of finicky to get, and I was confused as to why the trophy wouldn't unlock for me. Turns out I just had to literally be up in its face for it to pop. After finally finding my best friend, I then found out that she was actually possessed by this doll. And for the Call Me Maybe trophy, I had to dial her correct phone number when asked, which best believe I had to look up real quick, because the only time this popped up was at the very beginning of the game. So you got me messed up if you think that I had that thing memorized. 62, 37, 32, 36, 88. 62, 37, 32, 36, 38. Trophy.
Okay, fine. You really are her best friend. Achievement unlocked.
After trying to negotiate with the crazy doll, this would get me another trophy. Games nowadays have spoiled me to a degree that if a game doesn't hold my hand, I normally get stuck. I got stuck at the very beginning of the game, and now it's time for the long-awaited sequel of DoccoBell not knowing where to go, and end up googling the answer so I don't end up losing my mind. But more importantly, this is the mansion of that one ghost that turned one of our buddies into a Twizzler. And for Woman in the Mirror, I have to find the secret of the mansion. To find the secret, however, I have to beat that ghost in probably one of my favorite boss fights in this game, where the only means of seeing this ghost is by looking at the mirror and turning around for the pick. Woman in the Mirror. This would then bring me to the final boss fight for the game. If I didn't get distracted reading chat while I was streaming on twitch.tv/DoccoBell, I accidentally got the wrong turn trophy for getting the alternate ending, which I ended up leaving instead of going back into the school. But after loading back in and beating the final boss, and getting confused as what the hell just happened, like our teacher was the one behind it, like where did she get the baby? Was that a snake? I have so many questions. But this would nab me 2 trophies for beating the game and for beating the game using hints, which is why I have to play this game all over again to get the other variation of that trophy called My Way or the Highway by Limp Bizkit, for playing the game without the hints. I did end up missing a couple other trophies, so this was a good opportunity for me to clean those up. One of those that I ended up missing is the Inner Beauty trophy for beating Palasek, which also messed up the other trophy for me, and that was the Book of the Dead trophy. Since Palasek has 3 heads flying around and it does take a minute before you actually beat these things, which is why I ended up running away on my first playthrough, because at first I thought you're gonna beat these things, so the game plan now was to hunker down in a corner and just rapid fire away until I kill one. There we go. Trophy. And before wrapping up the main game, I had to get It's a Cute Way to Die for getting killed by a cat. In the mansion, there's an invisible ghost that I needed to beat, which was easy enough, but for this trophy, I had to wait for it until it chucks a whole ass cat towards me. I thought I was done with RNG, but here we are again, waiting until this ghost hits me with a cat. Oh, god damn it, bro. Brother, chill out. I just want a cat. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Trophy. Cat attack. It's a cute way to die. With the final trophy for the base game done, I just needed to take a picture of the final ghost I needed for the book, and finishing the game again, but this time without any hints enabled. It was now time to play the DLC, which started me off in Limbo, but this time with a bunch of orbs that showed me the memories of what happened in the first game. And seeing all of it got me a trophy. Keepers of the Dark is pretty much a boss rush type game mode. There are a total of 9 doors, which consist of 1 to 2 ghosts who are called keepers that I needed to banish. And for beginners, beginner banisher, I needed to banish my first keeper. I did end up struggling on this first boss because I wasn't sure on how to damage it, and I would just keep eating dirt while I jump shot, snapshot this thing in hopes that it did something, and continuously getting drilled with her Medusa styled attack, not knowing how to counter it. Like everything about me, it does take a second or 2,000 to actually figure out how to dodge her attacks. Alright, so my camera is the one that's affected by that thing? That is so weird. And when she can take damage to finally banish her permanently. Oh no, this wears trophy. The next area had a ghost horse, which was pretty gangster because I've never been in a hit and run scenario where someone was riding a horse. The other keeper in this realm is the hardest out of all of them, hands down, instantly killing me when I get close enough to its proximity. Even my cheesy method of what I call the rapid fire paparazzi shots didn't work for this particular ghost. Yeah, that's right. Can't kill me when I'm on rapid fire, huh? Yeah, that's what I thought, homeboy. Yup, I'm gonna kill you. This time I got my camera, rapid fire on motion. I got 1 terabyte of space. Oh! Until I found out that I was actually already pre-equipped with the SLR camera, so the rapid fire style should work flawlessly now. You're mine now, homeboy. That's right, I got my SLR. What you gonna do about it? Rapid fire, yup. This dude actually had his way with me for the majority of the time, until I finally found that sweet spot where I was still far enough that he didn't see me, but the camera gave me that good to kill signal, so I took the shot for that 1-hit KO. Gotcha, mother. Yeah, itch. But this dude ain't dead yet, because on the next door I had to kill him again, only now it's so much harder to spot him, which ended up in me replaying the same torment I just went through all over again. Eventually I did get lucky and I spotted him before I went in that area and banished this permanently. And this would get me a trophy for banishing 4 keepers. The silver section had this keeper who kind of just bolts away after taking a picture of it, so it wasn't even really an actual fight. The real keeper here is pretty much what ended up happening to Kurama. But this thing eventually led me into the final boss area, which looks like a whole setup for Dark Souls. Kurama had some pretty gnarly moves, but in the end, he couldn't keep up with the paparazzi. The next zone had me playing hide and seek with this ghost girl. Unfortunately, I was too slow to find where she was, and she ended up getting impatient, and this happened.
Time's up.
Time's up.
My turn.
Your turn.
Okay. I'm counting down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The hell was that? Wait, so did I fail hers? But now I had to restart the map for her to spawn again, so I ended up fighting the other keeper instead. That way I'll only have 1 keeper to deal with later on, which should save me some time. What the fuck? After restarting the level, I ended up finding the little ghost girl's hiding spot twice, which she ended up banishing herself afterwards.
Thank you so much for playing with me. I like you a lot, Libby.
Aw, thanks.
Here's something as a thank you.
And finally banishing the butcher without falling off the map this time around, nabbing me another trophy for banishing 8 keepers in total. For Sharpshooter, I had to beat the ceramic woman without damaging any of her decoys. Back in the school area, I was met with hundreds of mannequins. One of these said mannequins is the ceramic woman, and to find her, I just had to look for a mannequin with dark taints on its face, which I then have to chase the woman down as she transfers from a different mannequin each time I take a shot. Trophy. For pin down, I had to beat the Susuk lady with 10 needles or less. Still in the school area, I would find the Susuk lady on the 2nd floor. Throughout the game, I can pretty much get a total of 14 needles to make this fight so much easier for myself, since these needles weaken her, which led me to believe that this would be a tough fight to do because I would need 10 or less, but instead, this happened. Easy. Trophy. Pin down, boy. Now I just had to banish a detective who was killed by a serial killer feeding him his own eyeballs and the eyeballs of all of his victims, which was really messed up that I just had to include his lore on this video. Banishing the ghost dancer at the mansion where I just had to survive until the song ends, which did kill me a couple times. Yeah. I just want the motherfucking platy. I don't wanna play this game no more. Give me my trophy. Give me my trophy. Yeah. Stay away from me. What the hell you doing? Hey, give me my what and bloody. Yeah. Why you so fast? So chill, bruh. It ain't that deep. It ain't that deep. Chill. Yeah. Chill. Whoa. It ain't that. I'm gonna die. Bro, chill. How do you even survive this? Bruh. I'm gonna see. Oh my god, I died. But having a route to pretty much do a COD Zombies train, and eventually her performance would stop and I'd pop that flashy one time to banish her straight to heaven. And grabbing the doll in that same mansion. I would then give this doll to the kid on the second door and they would banish themselves, getting me the trophy for banishing all keepers. Oh, trophy. Banish all the what? Wait, what about the Rockstar dudes? Which had me a little confused because I still had one candle left, which meant that there was still a keeper in there. So I figured I'd blast them all anyways, just for the fun of it. Now that all the keepers were finally gone, this would unlock the last door of this gauntlet, and entering it would pop me a trophy for opening the secret door. And now it was time to fight the final boss of the game, but compared to the rest of the ghosts that I fought, I only expect this to be the most terrifying experience of my life. Oh shit! Should she be scared? That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't think she's scary. I am no longer scared. Nox like, I can fix her.
Don't you realize what you...
Trophy. There's a light in the end of the tunnel. Finish the lost chapter, baby. And of course, survive the dread. Let's freaking go! This game was an amazing experience coming from a team of only 20 people, putting a shame to most AAA devs out there. But that was the video, and currently my 179th platinum. I am planning on getting 100 platinums this year, so expect 100 videos. And for me to achieve that, honestly, I just have to play a bunch of indie games, which is pretty cool as well, because a lot of indie games out here are so much better than AAA titles nowadays, and I stand by that, and I will die on this hill. Support your indie devs. I'll be playing a lot more indie games. Obviously, I'll still be playing some AAA titles that I would like to play. At the end of the day, I play the games for the plats, but I just want to point out that everyone should support their indie devs because they actually make the best games out here. And as always, you already know the drill. Keep it real, but not too real, because that's just boring. And I hope everyone has a phenomenal day. Trophy!